Everything is spinning. The air is spinning too. But anyway,
That's what they tell us.
no, that's what it is, man. I work for NASA.
All right, cool. Check this out real quick.
All right, Jim Lotus. All right, Dave Gessner. Just in case you didn't believe me, can I see it? There's my flat Earth. This is the Flat Earth Mobile for Zoom Truth. Jim Lotus, you sent me that sticker, and that one, and a few more, and then Flat Earth 101 sent me that. So I just wanted to prove. Ooh, the car's dirty, but whatever. It's always dirty. I never wash it. So there's a couple more on this side, and one on the other. So thank you for the stickers, man. They're being put to use. There's a couple more. I'm at Belmar Beach right now, so I'm getting ready to go out and drop some red pills on some zombies. So I'll be back in a moment. I looked into this crap. I thought it was insane. Here's a card if you want. YouTube censors this. No? Here you go. Sorry. I'm so. There you go. Thanks, brother. So they say we're spinning 1,000 miles at the equator, right? Check this out. This is a brain teaser.
Yeah.
All right, we're spinning 1,000 miles an hour at the equator. Commercial airplanes, they travel at what, about 500 miles an hour, right?
Sure.
Okay, you hop in a commercial aircraft traveling 500 miles an hour in the same direction of the 1,000 mile an hour spin beneath you. You're spinning 1,000 miles.
1,500 miles an hour.
No, hold on. It's traveling 1,000 miles an hour beneath you. You're only going 500. Right? So, well, let's say you're going with the spin, right? Yeah. So you're traveling with the spin. Now, it's spinning. They're supposedly spinning 1,000 miles an hour, right? And you're traveling 500. What do you think mathematically would be happening? You're losing ground, right? Holy shit. What?
The atmosphere is moving with you.
This is what they tell us, right? I agree. So that's great. So good that you know that. Now, Neil deGrasse Tyson, right? He says that, but he's going to argue with you there. He's on video. You can look this up if you do Neil deGrasse Tyson football goal.
Yeah.
And what he does is he said he was at a football game and he goes, wow, he goes, a guy made a field goal. And I think he missed it. And he just clipped the edge of the field post, right? Sure. The goal post. He goes, I did some quick calculations and the rotation of the earth actually caused him potentially to have missed that field goal, right? Now, do you know who Neil deGrasse Tyson is?
I do not.
All right, he's like this famous, kind of semi-quasi-famous physicist, right?
Yeah.
So what he's telling us is kind of the opposite of what you just said, right? He's saying that the atmosphere above us is independent. So why is a physicist not getting it straight, right? Because if that was true, you could just hop in a helicopter, right? You could just hop into a helicopter and let the Earth rotate at 1,000 miles an hour beneath you, and you'd be able to get to your destination, correct?
You would, if your theory is true, then sure.
Yeah. So, but the only problem, and according to this physicist, he's saying that the Earth rotated beneath that football, but we don't experience that, do we?
No.
Why is the Earth flat and no other planets?
Well, do we know that?
Yeah, exactly.
Do we know? Do we really know that those planets are balls? Have you ever been to them? They look like a ball, right? I agree with you. The moon, like I just saw the wolf. Here, guys, take this, by the way. This YouTube censors. Come on over. YouTube censors. I know it sounds crazy, guys, but why would YouTube be censoring flat Earth? Why are these? Oh, I think I got a little rain on them. Why would YouTube be censoring flat Earth channels and videos, right? It's such a stupid idea, right? Why do we need any help knowing that the Earth isn't flat?
Yo, is global warming real or fake?
Well, if you're not interested, that's fine. I'm not here. But listen, all right, so the next thing is check this out. At what age did you learn that you live on a ball spinning at 1,000 miles an hour that water somehow sticks to? What age do you think it was?
Pretty young.
Yeah, man.
2?
Right, 5, 6, or, in some, they had globes everywhere in elementary school, right? So now the question is to me, that I would ask you is, did you really understand the mechanics of general relativity and of gravity at that time, or do you think you were accepting what an authority figure, your teacher, right, was telling you, this is how it is?
The latter.
Yeah. So basically, at a young age, that's almost considered like brainwashing, I would say.
Well, I mean, if you want to say anything you learn at a young age is brainwashing. I mean, that's a little bit different.
Well,
the sky is blue. If this is blue, am I being brainwashed if the sky is blue?
well, the only thing is that, again, they're telling you something that a little 5-year-old can't possibly, most 5-year-olds can't grasp.
But now we're not 5 anymore.
Well, that's everything though.
Is that everything though?
You're told everything at like the age of 5. Like he was just saying the sky is blue.
Right.
You're told that.
Well,
how is
well,
that
that's
any
not even
different?
true to colorblind kids, right? So if you're colorblind, you wouldn't even know
Color
that.
is subjective, sure.
Right. So, but my point more is that we really can't confirm this stuff, and once something becomes a belief, it's very, very difficult to to overcome what it is that you believe. There's an old ancient saying, it's a Buddhist saying, and the Buddhist saying is that a guy wants to learn, right? He wants to learn from the Buddha. And the Buddha goes, all right, sit down with me, and they sit down, and there's this a cup. He has a tea kettle, and in it represents, the tea represents knowledge, right? And so he starts pouring the tea into the other man's cup. He wants the knowledge, but it's spilling over everywhere. And the guy's like, whoa, what are you doing, man? You're losing all my knowledge. He goes, well, before you're gonna learn anything, he goes, gotta empty your cup. Gotta let go of all the things that you think you know. Gotta let go. Because this world is not what you think it is. I'm telling you, I've looked into it. It took me till age 46, and it is.
So did you go to the end of the ocean then? So what's holding the ocean? If it's not round, so what's on
We
the
don't
other
know.
side?
Well, that's a good question. That's a legitimate question, but we don't know, right? I haven't gone exploring, so I can't answer that question.
So then how do you know it's flat if you can't answer
All right.
the question technically?
Check this out. I brought with me water. This is one of the main things that does it for me, okay? Imagine that this tube was a tube 2 miles long, okay? And imagine it's like 10 feet in diameter from top to bottom, right? According to spherical geometry that defines an Earth, the size that they tell us is 24,000 miles in some odd miles in circumference, all right? The formula for that curvature is 8 inches per mile squared, and that's going to create a curve with that expected curvature. So over, like we know that from the photos, quote, they're actually CGI, but the pictures that NASA sends us, that, you know, water bends supposedly, right? But our actual experience is, as you see, as I tilt this, water's always searching for what? It's level, right? It's always looking to find its level, no matter what you do. I have a photo of it here. See how the water, no matter how you bend it, it's always looking for what? For its level, right? So imagine again that this is 2 miles long. All right, because this is what you believe right now as believing that you live on a ball. All right, 2 miles times 2, you square the 2 miles, that's 4, right? 4 times 8 inches, 4 times 8 inches would be 32 inches you would have of expected curvature over a distance of 2 miles, right? So in the halfway point, I don't believe it's actually 16 inches of bulge. I think it's like more like 8. I don't know the exact math to tell you the truth. But there would be a bulge. What you have to believe is that there's a bulge in resting water, and that it tapers down at each end of the 2 mile long pipe. That's what you believe. Because that is what you're saying when you say that when a ship disappears over the horizon, that's what happens.
But aren't you not a mathematician, so shouldn't you not speak on math at all? Just like you say, like, why teach a 5-year-old because he doesn't have a deep understanding of these concepts. So why even introduce them until you're an expert in the field, then you reveal?
Well, the thing is that
I mean, like,
because
you don't know about
there's a thing, like, do you know, the Tesla, Nikola Tesla?
Yes.
Yeah, he was like, we're getting lost in equations. We've lost ourselves in equations. We don't even trust our own senses anymore, where we expect math to define the world when it's right sitting in front of you, and no one believes it anymore. You know what water does? Look at this. Can you imagine trying to get water to stick to a ball? Does anybody here know how fast we're spinning? 1,000 miles an hour, right? But we're also circling the sun, right?
And then
How fast are we circling the sun? Yes, that's correct. How fast, do you guys know how fast we're circling the sun?
60,000 miles an hour.
Perfect, man. 66,000 miles an hour, right? Then the sun is traveling almost 500,000 miles an hour, right? Now you tell me, guys, does anybody feel the slightest ounce of motion?
No, because
You're in a car going 80 miles an hour. Do you feel that?
Well, when I'm in a car, we're turning, right? We're going a turn. Have you ever gone in a turn at 80 miles an hour?
An object stays in motion until another object acts upon it. Right? If we're going in one direction,
Right.
we're not going to feel that until
Right.
something.
Now, the question is now, do you think right now you're defending your current belief, or are you investigating honestly that this might be possible, right?
I'm just listening to your perspective. That's all.
Right, no, but what I'm saying though is that, no, it's fine, but we have such a natural inclination to cling to our current beliefs that we're going to do everything we can to disprove people who come at us with you know, something that's contrary to what we currently believe.
Is that the ultimate lesson though? Do you believe the Earth is flat, or would you just like to overturn?
It's not a ball, man. We don't live on a ball.
But besides that, is your ultimate belief is to say trust your own perception, don't listen to what you're told, or do you actually is this like a farce?
No, not at all. No, what this is that all right.
If you haven't experienced the edges, why believe someone else?
Oh well, I just told. All right, so check this out. That's a legit question.
You know what I mean? Because you're taking a leap of faith in a different direction, but it's about this, because it's about the same distance of a leap. Have you neutralized, poured out your cup, and then said, okay, flat or round?
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what.
And then at 46 years old, you said, okay, I know nothing. Yeah, check. And then you said, let me check out this.
I didn't even do that. I didn't do that.
I know. Yeah. I mean, I think it's part of
but what I'm saying is
machine is very easy, but creating a new one, and you know what I mean?
Well, wait, all right, well, let me just back up. When I heard about flat Earth, the first thing, like, I thought I was open-minded, like, my entire life. I was like, oh yeah, I'm open-minded. I'm an open-minded guy, right? Ran around and thought, I'm an open-minded guy. But the very first thing I said when I heard Kyrie Irving was talking about the Earth being flat, I was like, what an idiot. I'm like, what kind of idiot would say the Earth is flat? Those are exactly what I said. So Mr. Open-Minded hasn't done an ounce of investigation. You know, are you guys familiar with there's a principle that will keep a man in everlasting ignorance. Yep. There's a principle that will keep a man in everlasting ignorance. And that principle is condemnation, right? Before investigation. Man, I was the definition of it.
It sounds like you opened the door of your mind and then slammed it back shut, though, no?
No. There's plenty of things.
Like okay, I'll let flat Earth, and boom, and then you shut the rest of it.
Yeah, well, no. There's absolutely, there's things that, like, I'm still, like, confused on for sure, and I can't explain, and I won't even attempt to explain them.
Because you know there's not enough time to get, like, a bunch of new degrees and stuff, so you have to take a little leap of faith as someone that knows more than you.
No, that's just depending upon an authority. Let me ask you, have you ever told a lie?
Wait, no, that's not authority. I believe the plumber knows how to work the sink better than I do, because he went to trade school and.
All right, so if a guy comes in, wait, so a guy you don't know, hold on, a guy you don't know, right? Has an ad in his paper, right? You call him up and he tells you he's a plumber, and he comes in, he's wearing a little plumber outfit.
You know, my mother said he plumbed her sink and shit, so I go, okay, word, he did a good job at your house. Okay. I'll tell him to go over mine.
Okay. How about if you called him up though and you said, let me get some references, and you call up the references, and oh yeah, this guy's great, he's great, right? He comes over and this guy doesn't know, he's never done it. It's all a big scam. Do people get scammed in this world? Do people lie?
Yeah.
They do, right?
Yeah.
We all. I mean, I lie. I still freaking lie. I hate it. It's like such a hard habit to get out of. Like, but you're not supposed to do it, right? I mean, it's a really bad thing to do.
I mean, if you ask me, do I look okay in the shirt? I'm gonna say, yeah, sure, you look great. But in reality, I'm thinking no.
But yeah. What the hell? Why are you wearing that? You look like a schmuck or something, right? Or your girlfriend says something, you're like, yeah, no, you know. So whatever. So we tell these lies. So the point of it being is that, you know, it's gotten to the point now with in science where it's like scientism, where science has become a religion. Do you guys believe in like the Big Bang and evolution? Or like, can you say that you know that that's exactly what took place? Like, do you know exactly that that's true?
Nobody can.
Scientific theories. They're more probable than.
Okay, so
they are theories, and everyone rests on them being theories. That says, hey, anyone can call this into question anytime they want.
Right.
Jesus Christ doesn't get, no matter how many new scriptures you dig out of the earth.
Right.
Catholicism, all that shit's barred off. That's done. That's a religion. No one's saying, wait, how old was I? Heard he was 31 when he was on the cross.
Right.
That's not a thing anymore, because that's a religion. Science, if someone says, wait, I think we got this all wrong with the Big Bang Theory, check out these numbers of something that happened 4 billion years ago, everyone else will go, holy shit, maybe everything we thought was wrong. No, and then they go peer review.
It would be nice. That would be what you would hope for. But let me tell you how it is.
How about carbon dating?
Wait, here's the problem.
Carbon dating. Do you know about that shit?
Wait, just hold on.
They said, hold on, we're totally wrong with all this shit.
Right, but there's a big problem. In the universities today, right, where a lot of the science, quote, science is taking place. These people unfortunately, if you can't come up and say all of a sudden, like, you're not going to be able to keep your job if all of a sudden you say, I'm questioning whether the Earth is a ball or not at this point, right? No one can freely do that. They will lose their jobs. They don't have the ability to step outside of a certain box. And this goes for medicine, people who talk about natural health.
I think you have a problem with hierarchies, which I do too. And I think you should focus on the problem that we're all stuck in hierarchies, racism, hierarchical
That's
problems.
fine, yeah.
You know what I mean? Power.
Yeah.
All these things that you can't change the system, and you wish you could.
Right.
But hierarchies are the problem. That is a root cause.
All right, so you're not right. So let me ask you. Let's suppose that I'm right about the shape of the Earth, right? Let's just suppose it for 1 second, and that it truly is flat.
Okay.
Would you be interested in actually being aware of that information, or would you rather live in ignorance and not have a clue that you actually live on a flat surface?
I probably wouldn't give a shit, just like I don't give a shit that the Earth's round or not, and everything seems to be functioning, and it actually does not concern my life.
Right.
And if the Earth was flat, or if the Earth was round, it is of no consequence.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
How are you so sure? Let me ask you. Why? Wait. If somebody's going, if someone or a group or a government or governments are going through all that trouble to hide the shape of the Earth, you're going to tell me there's not a reason for it?
What do you think's over the wall?
I'm just asking you. You're telling me it's inconsequential. You just told me it doesn't matter.
I believe that's personally, and every single person I know and have ever seen, I believe it's inconsequential whether or not the Earth's a triangle, an octagon.
So you don't want to know?
Well, no. So I do take a leap of faith. Not my area of expertise. I'd rather push paint around, be a painter. Okay. And but to me, it really doesn't matter. Just like the plumber, I don't sit over the plumber's
It changed my life.
Hey man, what the fuck is under the sidewalk?
All right.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
it doesn't concern me.
That's cool.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
So she flies airplanes. She's a pilot.
Yep.
So let's say I jumped in her airplane. I'm down in Ecuador, South America.
I'm so happy you said
and
this.
I'm flying across the equator.
Yep.
And I fly through Africa, fly across the Indian Ocean.
Yep.
I keep flying straight heading. I come back.
Yep.
I'm in Ecuador again.
Yeah.
How does a flat Earth explain that?
All right. See, here's your like flat Earth map. Over here. Like, here's one potential model. I'm not saying this is exactly confirmed by anybody. What's interesting though is that, like, if you look on this is a flight path on a flat Earth, and if you do it on a oh, that's weird. Oh, here it is. And here's the actual flight path on a ball Earth. Yeah. So one goes kind of straight and direct. On a ball Earth, it seems like we're kind of going out of our way.
Oh, it's map distortion, no?
No. This is what they do is they fly, like, they call it the circle. What is it? The circle routes. You're a pilot. You should know this, right? Oh. All right.
I want to hear what you
That
say.
sucks, man. Well, no, but that's okay. You're not playing too bad. But listen, no, it's good because the funny thing is that they're going to tell. A lot of people will claim that they see curvature out of an airplane, and generally a commercial airplane flies at 35,000 feet. I've got cards here, guys. I'll give you some. So generally, a commercial aircraft flies at 35,000 feet. At 35,000 feet, you cannot see curvature.
But we're taking that as a number that the other, like, the anti-people gave you. Do you believe it's actually 35,000 or not?
Well, you can't see it. I mean, no one. If you, what's his name? Your guy, Neil deGrasse. What?
Do planes really fly that
Oh yeah.
high?
Well, I mean, I guess we're taking it for that's true too. Yeah. I agree with you. Right. That's good. Now you're on. Yeah, you got it.
Because I'm a skeptic, like, but that's the thing. I want to know if it's skepticism for skepticism's sake, to teach people how to be skeptical of things that they're spoon-fed.
No. This isn't just a joke, man.
This is really
this is for real. All right, guys. Thank you for chatting. Yep. You'll hear a lot of people say they claim that they saw curvature at 35,000 feet. Yet this guy, Neil deGrasse Tyson, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with him, but he's that physicist. He's kind of a famous guy, and he's like, you won't see curvature at 100,000 feet.
I have one question. I am like a parachute like now.
Yeah.
Parachute like now. Where you take it?
A parachute?
Parachute. This one I like.
Oh, you want to go parachuting?
Parachute, yeah.
I don't even know, man.
No,
I'm doing my first time here.
Dude, I really thought you were going to talk about seeing the curve of the Earth from the fucking parachute. I was like,
That'd been nice.
Right. Okay.
Have a nice day. All right. That was buzzkill. So like, here, like, see, there's a few things now that are taking place that, like, believe me, man, when I heard this again, I don't even want made me look into this, but YouTube has now closed down people.
It was YouTube though, no?
Oh yeah.
Like,
but you.
right. Yeah.
But it's not YouTube that made the videos. It's individual people.
But you found it on YouTube though, no?
Yeah, 100%.
Just checking.
Yeah.
Because
well, actually, I heard about it on mainstream news, and then I started to look into why would anybody think this.
Problem further into hierarchies. That's your problem with YouTube. Why would they stop it? Because it's hierarchical. One guy at the top could not like it and say, "Fuck it, that's the rules of YouTube."
Right.
Now all this flat Earth shit's off.
Right,
there.
but why? Wait. Let me ask you. People are watching it. They're for-profit company.
It's not ours. It's not like we own YouTube.
Right, but honestly, if you're in the business of making money, and there's a shit ton of people who are watching, quote, conspiracy videos.
So that's why.
Hey, great.
So that's why
let them watch, right?
That's why I asked you about global warming, because if the same corporate companies that want to keep global warming in place so they can keep making their own money, plastic money, oil money, fucking whatever, pollution, paint, whatever, you know what I mean? That they would take the same action against the global warming community.
I haven't investigated global warming at all, but I imagine it's a lie like everything else, man. Everything's a freaking lie, man.
But global warming is just as disruptive as this to old money. If you think that old money would get disrupted and old structures would be disrupted by the shit, the Earth being finally revealed to everyone, it also interrupts the money flow to say, hold on, the Earth's melting, we need to change everything we do and rethink how we do it. That would disrupt the old money flow.
But actually, what they're more using it as another way to create a tax on people. But anyway, I don't even want to talk about global warming because I don't know enough about it and I'm way out of my league. What I can ask you is that, do you believe you are a slave by definition? Do you work for a living, by the way? Yeah. Okay. All right. Do you, by definition, do you think you're a slave? By definition? Yeah. By definition. And do you too?
I do, but I don't think I'm a slave.
No.
Well, I don't think I call it wage slavery. You know what I mean?
Like, I mean, when you don't have a choice in giving, when you think you don't have a choice. I was watching. I've known this for like 8 or 10 years, but I'm too chicken to do it, and I think I'm getting close to doing it. Where I'm going to stop paying my federal taxes. And
I've gone down that hole on YouTube too, and then you get people arguing in courts. That's a municipal law. That doesn't. And they go.
Right. Well, yeah, but you have to remember, like. You have to, like you said earlier, you almost have to be skeptical of everything. It's so crazy because are some of these videos being created to create fear of the general public of actually going through with doing it, right? Do they say that so-and-so went into jail?
How many things?
I don't know if the guy went to jail, but all they have to do is say it, and I go, oh, I'm gonna make sure I pay my taxes even though I don't like to do it.
Thing is, there's just so much disinformation, and we are gonna live in the age of disinformation. So I have a feeling this is gonna fall. This is gonna be like almost like everyone's gonna remember this as like the top like
flat Earth being disinformation. A psyop?
Well, no, but it's gonna be like what's real, what's not. You got so many people who believe this versus so much evidence, and it goes, well, it doesn't matter because what's real because I saw this video, and then no one's gonna know what's real. But I think this will be this will be looked back on as the beginning of diverging of like fucking like
I hear.
Well, the thing is the fucking internet going everything's a glitch, and then going, you know what I mean? Because
I hope you're right, but I don't believe you are, because you know what? I go out on this boardwalk, man, and 99 out of 100 people, probably 999 out of 1,000 are, if they're not laughing at me, they're ignoring me, and very, very few people even care. They don't care. They don't want to know. They don't want to even challenge a belief.
Really, I don't think anyone cares that the Earth's round. Honestly, no one cares.
Well, no, but this is like the reason why.
They don't care if it's flat either,
the reason it's so important is I think, and sometimes I'm like maybe I should start off with an easier question or an easier thing like, are you a slave? And that way I can get people who I might lose a ton of people by just virtue of the fact that you're claiming the Earth is flat. It's absolutely insane, right? But the fact is that when I got to this point, right, now all of a sudden I'm like, holy shit, I gotta go back at all the crap that I used to laugh at and not pay attention to and re-examine everything, because I used to think I was open-minded, but I would I still freaking do it.
Well, that's why I think it's interesting to go so hard in claiming alternative facts on a subject. I didn't mean to go.
Thank you.
But
I hate alternative facts, man. That's crazy.
Because you're saying
that's Orwellian.
You're saying no, that's the wrong way, and that's fine.
No,
but to say that no, this is the right.
What
way
I'm saying, what I want to see. Wait, you know what I didn't clarify?
You know?
I beg everyone to not always, don't ever believe a word I say, right? You need to, all I want people to do is, like I said on my sign there, research it. I beg you.
But research is nothing but hearsay. You understand that?
No.
That's what, no.
All right, check this out.
But that's wait.
Hold on.
Wait, that's what science is too.
What is this right here? Right. What is that hearsay, or is that someone doing a physical experiment using lights and I'm just saying it's at its most basic form.
No, I think that's totally whacked out. No, because the sun's so far away that to us it does perceive us.
No, and then think about the sun.
Close like that? What are you talking about?
Well, no, what the idea that the sun is close on a flat Earth, the sun is only a few thousand miles above our head, and it's tiny, it's small. It's the sun. How do we know?
Does the sun move?
Yeah, the sun moves, and it moves freaking. Like, this is one of the things that I was like, wait a second. You mean the flat earthers expect me to believe the sun's just moving above my head, and like it's not right?
Okay.
So I'm like that right away. I was like, well, that can't be, because I was an atheist at the time, right? I became like full-on born-again Christian, but then I started questioning born-again Christianity, because you have to question everything, right?
Because that's the thing, that I don't know if this whole thing's a fucking rage against the machine thing, because back in what? 1400s, 1300s, the church was like...
Do we know it?
Well, the church was like, well, yeah, I fucking...
Do we know? Because what about his story, right? His story.
Yeah, most of it's
right?
bullshit.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but go ahead.
No, and I like to read a lot of alternative history.
Yeah.
I read the losers version. I enjoy reading the losers version, aka the people of America, the losers of, you know what I mean? But,
sure.
I like this idea.
Check it out, man. YouTube censors his stuff.
But
I'm sorry.
So it used to be cooler to be like, yo, fuck the church. The church is just trying to hold us down. Fuck that shit. They want us to think that we're the center because they're self-absorbed. Fuck that shit. I'm gonna go find out that it's not the center. And then someone said, yeah, let's prove that we're rotating around here.
Right.
Because that's fucking anarchist cool shit. And now you looked in, because now the consensus is
no, it has nothing. But listen, I am a contrarian by like nature. But maybe that was my like calling into like maybe that's what it took to get this thing started. Like I truly believe. Now wait, check this out. Do you believe in God?
Nah.
You don't believe in God?
I mean, no.
I didn't. All right, so you.
You know what I mean? Like I like coincidences.
All right, so wait. So let me ask you, like the building over there, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that someone built that, or do you think that just popped into existence out of nowhere?
Someone built it.
Right. And how do you know that? Because
there's probably a cornerstone says 1924 on it or something.
Yeah, and we know that these things need to be created. Well, here we have the Big Bang, which I asked you about earlier, which you're not too sure of, right?
I'll leave it open. That's too far back for anyone to. No one.
And so I was an atheist too. Like I was in your face hardcore, but I always knew in the back of my head that I couldn't prove Big Bang, but I was so adamant and against God. And finally I said one day, when Flat Earth came around, I'm like, wait a second.
I'm not against God though.
I
just personally don't. You know, I mean, I don't take an agnostic.
I literally looked down on people who believed in God because I thought, you're so simple-minded. Because in school they teach us Big Bang, they teach us evolution, and me, I guess I had a giant ego, and I probably still do. I wanted to think I was better than them, I guess, and by jumping on with the group and being like, "Whoa, yeah, I'm part of the Big Bang." I got power over these people because they're a minority who you think they are. Who knows whether that's really true even? But
out of the world, man.
Anyhow, to think that that this. Oh, so then when you get to Flat Earth, right? When you get to the Flat Earth, that's when immediately I was like, "Wait a second," and I had so many synchronicities too when this all happened. I was like, "Wait a second, if the Earth is flat, then it had to be created." Then the next thing I know is I have a Bible verses here. And remember, I was anti-God and everything. Like I was anti-Bob, you name it, right? So then I start finding out that the Bible talks about the world being stationary and immovable, right? And I'm thinking to myself,
scientific revolution.
And then I'm thinking to myself, how do all these people believe that the Earth is a ball? In the very first in Genesis, it talks about the Earth being stationary and immovable. And there's there's hundreds of other verses which contradict a ball spinning in space endlessly, right?
That idea didn't exist yet, so I wouldn't call it a contradiction. But
or it's the truth.
It predates it.
Or the Bible could be the truth.
That's possibility. But we got a problem.
Cool, man. Thank you guys so much. It was great chatting.
Thanks, dude.
Thank you. I suck. Why can't I just be more open? I need to be more open-minded, but I can't be. All right, let's try somebody else. FlatEarth101.com. Oh, okay, ZoomTruth.com. Go to it, join it. We had some developers, they put their time into it, making it. Jeranism has been promoting it. So many people started promoting it now. It's been really awesome. I'm so happy that they're doing that for us. Hey, you want to hear some proofs as to why I have come to this conclusion at all? You have a couple seconds? All right. All right, check this out. I'm going to start with I like this one just as a brain teaser. They tell us that the Earth is spinning 1,000 miles an hour at the equator, right? Okay, commercial airplanes travel at 500 miles an hour. If you were to get in a commercial airplane and travel in the same direction of the spin, right? And you're traveling 500 miles an hour, the ground beneath you is moving at 1,000 miles an hour. Are you going to be making time and losing time, and why?
When you come back from the east coast, from the west coast, you are making time.
Well, no, but I'm just saying you're at the equator, right? The Earth is spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, this direction. You're traveling in the same direction at 500 miles an hour. What would you expect theoretically to happen?
It depends on your relationship with the Earth. But everything is spinning. The air is spinning too. But anyway,
that's what they tell us.
No, that's what it is, man. I work for NASA.
All right, cool. Check this out, real quick. Okay. Neil deGrasse Tyson said he's on video and he talks about a field goal that was made. Do you know that video where he says a field goal? A kicker made a field goal and he missed it and it just hit the post and bounced off, right? And he goes, I did some quick calculations and he goes, I determined that basically he was saying the Coriolis effect caused that football while in the air, the Earth rotated just enough underneath that football for it to deflect the football off and he missed it. Now, please enlighten me as to, right, you know what I mean? Why? How is that? That's the
Coriolis effect, yes, of the Earth. But it's very small for that type of...
small?
Yes, it's very, for the ball, it's a very small effect, okay? It doesn't have so much of an effect. But he was right, because in a perfect world, because that was just barely touching the post, that tiny bit would have gone through.
But what I'm asking, no, but you're missing my question is that football is in the air for how long? Maybe 2 seconds, 3 seconds?
It's in air long enough to be, because you...
Well, how long would you say? 3-4 seconds?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Depends how far it is and what's the speed of the ball. I don't know exactly.
Okay, right. So let me get this straight, because maybe I'm just completely not getting it. I've noticed that I've done that before. But so what I think he's trying to say is like the Earth, literally in that 3 or 4 seconds, had spun just enough.
Yes.
Right. But now, so my question is that if it can do that to a football,
yes,
why can't a guy get when someone gets up in a helicopter and they go into a hover, right?
Yes.
Why wouldn't the Earth just spin out from beneath them?
It does, but you correct a little bit from the helicopter too. You don't just let the helicopter there go like this. There are all the time little corrections, yes. So for all this stuff it happens, man. But it's good. I'm gonna check your site, okay? My wife is calling me. Okay. I'm gonna check your site.
You work for NASA for real?
Yeah.
You're not gonna like our site. I think NASA's a bunch of liars, man. Do you really think we went to the moon?
Yes.
Like you see, there's the lunacy lander. We call it down there the lunacy lander. Yes. Because I mean, do you see that?
Not only that, but I work where they build that too. Okay.
I hear you.
You know where it was built?
In Florida, I don't know. I have no idea. I know NASA's down in Florida, but I don't know where it was built.
So that one is built by Grumman.
Right.
Okay. It was built by Grumman in 1967, 68, and it was built in Long Island, where Grumman was the company that they build all the aircraft, that they land on an aircraft carrier.
Do you know who was in charge of NASA at that time of the Saturn V rocket development?
No.
You don't know? Have you ever heard of Werner von Braun?
Okay. Von Braun was in charge for the rocket, yes.
Yeah, he was former Nazi, right?
Yeah, he was a Nazi from the Peenemünde.
Yeah. And do you know that? Do you know what it was? Do you know what it says on his gravestone? Do you know what it said?
No.
He refers to Psalms 19-1. Do you know what that one is? No. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. Right? Now, you know what the firmament is? The firmament is supposedly a dome over the Earth.
Okay.
What the hell is
I don't
Werner
know
von
about-
Braun? Well, it's literally, you can look it up, please.
I'm gonna look.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't
no,
know
you're
that,
awesome,
so
dude. I
yeah,
appreciate
know.
that. I'm David, by the way.
I'm August, like the month.
August, and it's really
2 months
cool
from
because
now.
I said that I'm such a jerk what I said.
No,
but
you're not a jerk, man. It's very good. It's all the time good to question, and you shouldn't take everything literally. You have to look at that, make research, and that's very good. It's very good, not only for science, but for everything.
Do you trust the government?
I trust some government and some other I don't.
I don't trust any of it, man. August, right?
Okay.
Thank you, man.
All the
Peace.
best, man.
All right.